morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Market Pulse. Too many shows, too many shows. The shows are coming back, guys. It's going to be fun. Welcome bright and early in the morning. And I'm gonna be with you until market opens. At market opens, I am gonna have to go, but hopefully in a week or two, I won't care that market is opening because I have decided that trading can wait. Trading can wait. Trading isn't going anywhere. It was the same when I learned it in 2001 or 2 or whenever I learned it, and it's going to be the same in 2032, just like it was in 2002. Without further ado, let's get into screen share. I guess I'm just gonna promote the affiliate page. Please support. I don't have my Embly card on my desk. It's back in my wallet, but here it is. That's the product that I love using when I'm running around. All right, enough of that. This is incredibly horrifying and disappointing at the same time. So without any regard for the Fourth Amendment of the US Constitution, the US Senate is going to be voting, or probably voted on, basically having the ability to browse your internet history. Jimmy, Song, and I will try to discuss how you could perhaps help avoid this situation and just be permanently surveilled. I'm also hearing reports that law enforcement in the US are using drones with cameras to spy on you if you happen to be in your backyard speaking to another human being. And if they catch you speaking to another human being in less than 6 feet away, you will get a fine, and or perhaps arrested, or perhaps, beaten up, or maybe even shot one day. So this is I don't really want to take this political, but this is really, really bad. It's really bad. I kind of like my advanced technology, so I'm not yet ready to move to a deserted island without any technology on it. But I don't know how this will stop, but it's getting really, really bad. Really bad. All right, enough of that. Let's look at this. So according to this chart here, that only updates once a day, unfortunately. But the reason why I use it is because it has more history. I really don't need to use it for this chart because I'm not looking at its history. And it's really good once the candle closes because it's an average price. But while the week is going on, this is a slight misrepresentation right here because the weekly candle did close way up at 9,800, but immediately after candle closed, that happened. So we are back to being rejected by the setup trend line. I guess the TA happens in random order. I usually go to stocks and then I go to Bitcoin later, but this time I went straight into Bitcoin. Let me pull out your live chat, guys. Okay, here we go. And we are currently sitting right at the rejection area of the trend line. I would really like for this to get to a 9 in a consolidation stage. And then if it consolidates into a 9, which means another 2 full weeks of consolidation, a little more than that. So another 18 days of straight up consolidation, because the 9th candle doesn't need to consolidate. The 9th candle just needs to open somewhere in this vicinity. And from there, we could really take it in either direction. But right now, I don't have any short-term bullish trades on Bitcoin, and I'm not willing to take on bearish trades. So I'm left with waiting for the dip, and I am still waiting for that set dip. Let's go to the daily chart. The daily chart is pulling back on current candle. We are rising a little bit right now. I think we were lower earlier. So here's your daily chart. And there's not much to say right now. The current candle is in a straight up no trade zone based on daily charting. I would need tomorrow's candle to go up above current green 2 as a green 3 above a 2, and that would actually make me bullish. If we are closing this candle by breaking the trend line, that makes me pretty bullish. Thank you for your comment, Sand Snake. Tone, I personally would rather have you not trade. This way you get an unbiased opinion, by the way, sports. Yeah, I agree. I agree. By not trading, you always get an unbiased opinion because I don't care. I'm not financially or mentally invested in anything. But of course, with Bitcoin, you'll get a biased opinion because I'm a hodler. But just because I'm a hodler, that's irrelevant. When I have a short-term position in Bitcoin, I'm way more biased. You guys didn't want me trading Bitcoin. I'll be biased in my opinion. If I don't take on any short-term trades, if I do a dollar cost average strategy, I will be unbiased in my outlook on Bitcoin. And the most unbiased I've ever been on Bitcoin is when I don't have a position in a short-term position in the market. Even if that position is for 10 shares of GBTC, currently valued at approximately $50. Like, even if my position is $50, if you guys are watching the Michael Jordan documentary, he's very competitive. What do you call it? The Last Dance documentary. Watch it, where Jordan is on the back of the plane playing cards with some of the other guys on the team, and they're playing for thousands of dollars. But then there's guys in the front of the plane playing cards for $1 a hand because they don't want to gamble. They just want to throw $1 on a hand. And Jordan is a big gambler. Jordan is known for throwing down tens of thousands of dollar bets on golf and pretty much anything. And Jordan comes up to those guys and says, hey, I want to play with you. And they're looking at him like, we're playing for $1 a hand. You were playing for $1,000 a hand. Why you want to play with us? And his answer was, because I want to take your money. It didn't matter to him how much the stakes were. If people didn't want to play with him, it made him want to play with them more. So it's the same concept here. Even when I have a trade on that has a maximum risk of $50, it doesn't matter. It's the principle of winning the trade. And there's always some bias that goes into that. Did you look into the 3 videos about Satoshi? Of course. I not only looked at them. I know I'm getting off tangent here, but I swear, last thing, I got to stop looking at the live chat. Last tangent. I'm going to switch screen share for you guys. Not only did I look at it, these are my notes on the 3 videos. You see this? This is what I did yesterday. These are my notes. And I will be doing a video later today in about, I don't know, probably after market closes, because today I'm still trading. So after the market closes, I will do a video about those 3 Satoshi videos from Barely Sociable. I already have an awesome thumbnail. I'm going to tweet that out probably right after the show. And I will do a video on that video. It might be long because we're going to watch the video together. And I'm going to just I'm going to give my commentary with the video on. And Jimmy Song will most likely be joining me on that video as well. Trying to get another person, but we'll see. Okay. So yes, I've watched it, and these are the notes that I took. And all these notes come with an exact reference to the second of where it takes place. I will publish this in the video description, guys. Don't worry. No need to take screenshots. This will be in the video description. So don't worry about that. All right, let's go to back to the other screen share. All right, hope that answers that question. All right, I'm sorry, guys. I need someone, like, if one of my wonderful helpers grabs your questions and puts them in a live chat, I will try to get to them. But at the moment, thank you for your donation via Emily card. But right now, I do want to stop being distracted and go back to the price. So let's talk about the price. We have the daily candle is now pulling back. I don't know where this candle is going to end. We still have half a day to go. This candle could end all the way down, in which case I am bearish. This candle could end somewhere higher than currently, in which case I will be bullish if the next candle goes above current candle. But if this candle goes above yesterday's high, I am kind of bullish, but I'm also kind of I'm a concerned bullish, because then we're FOMOing again. And I think Bitcoin is going to be pulling back. I continue to say the same thing over and over again like a broken record. Bitcoin has to prove to me that it can break this trend line. Until it does, I'm waiting for a pullback. I can just repeat that sentence over and over and over and over. Here's the 4-hour chart. The 4-hour chart is not looking good. The 4-hour chart never gave you a green 2 above a green 1 following the 9. I said this last night with Jimmy Song on the channel. By the way, I love the fact that the news show came back. It was a lot of fun. Leah had a great time. Jimmy had a great time. It was awesome. Giacomo couldn't join. It's going to be a great show. Can't wait to bring it back. And we're going to bring you a tech show. I'm going to get Luke Dash-Jur, and we're going to kick it off probably with him. Okay, so yesterday after our show, when we were sitting right here, I said Bitcoin is probably going to drop, but if it's going to drop, it needs to do it like immediately. And it did. It kind of dropped immediately. It has pulled back since then. And I'm going to put a line in the sand here. So I'm going to put a little Mendoza line here. Below this line, I think Bitcoin goes down. This is the line that Bitcoin can't break. It touched that line about an hour ago, or about 30 minutes ago. And if we go below this line, I think Bitcoin's going to pull back harder. Based on a 4-hour chart, what's the likely area of Bitcoin support? Well, it's in this vicinity of $8,900. You have a setup trend line, and you have the prior area of the breakout. So if this line is broken, you have some support at the moving average cluster. But other than that, your next level of support is down at 8,900. I think 8,900 is very, very reasonable for it to get to on this pullback. Okay. GBTC. I'm checking out the premium. I'm dying to get back into GBTC, guys. I may not want to actively trade, so I'm just dying for a decent pullback and for the GBTC premium to fall back below 10%. Maybe I should have not got out at $9 when it hit 9,000, because it did go all the way to 12 because of the GB monster premium. So I'm gonna wait for the premium to be reasonable again, and I'll go in with a much bigger position, and I'll just keep it there. Restarted computer last night, so things are going to be updating. Yeah, I've been paying attention to this. This is minor profitability. I'm waiting for this to kind of stabilize a little bit since the halving. I'll probably need about a week or two, and then I'll take the chart down, and I'll bring back this chart if we fall back to 6,000, because I do believe this orange line will probably get hit one more time, which means a $6,000 price of Bitcoin. I still think it will happen. I don't think it will go much lower than that, but I still think that the $6,000 price will happen. Minor hash rate is a little bit troublesome at the moment, but let's see where it is next week. It's a little too early to judge whether miners are coming off the network or not. I did enter gold. I entered gold yesterday. I was a little upset at my gold entry, and I'll tell you why. I did enter gold, so you get a slight biased opinion, but the trade's doing very well. So, and what is this chart? Oh, I think that's probably Bitcoin dominance. Until Bitcoin dominance breaks 73, it's not really interesting. So we'll wait for it to load, but it's not really interesting. Until Bitcoin dominance breaks 72.50, what's the high here? 72. Until Bitcoin dominance breaks 72, it's not that interesting. I'm going to remove this chart to unclutter some of my tabs. Every tab makes a difference at this point. Okay, gold. Let's talk about gold. 10-minute chart. Let's go to yesterday's market open. I was buying calls on, whoa. Yeah, because I have that indicator set. I'm going to release when I find the time, and hopefully if I stop trading, I'll have more free time. The problem next week is that I'm speaking at like 12 online conferences during the day. So me not trading freed up time, but now it just got replaced by a million conferences. I'm also putting in a speaking fee on these online conferences because I can't. Some of them are so bad that it's just a giant waste of time. Okay. Here we go. This was my entry line. Now look where this entry line was crossed. This is the 10-minute candle at market open yesterday. I trade traditional markets in my retirement. So the only way I can get exposure to gold is to buy GBTC. Sure, I can get exposure to gold in 100 different ways, but the simplest way to get exposure to gold is GBTC. I can either buy a $160 ETF, which means if I want to buy 1,000 shares, it will cost me $162,000. Or I can just buy 10 call option contracts, which will only cost me $13,000 or $16,000. I paid $16,000. So I paid $16,000, $16,500 to get exposure to 1,000 shares of GLD, which otherwise would cost me 160 grand. This is why options are so powerful. So powerful. I can show you private DMs from yesterday with some of the people from the options class that took the same trade that I did, even without me telling them to, because they watched my show. And the problem was this. If you recall yesterday's morning show, I couldn't get my broker opened in the last 5 minutes before market open. So I had to log off the stream. By the time my broker opened, it was already 9:35 and gold was past my entry point. In addition, the moment that stream ended, the first thing I did while the broker was opening up, was I texted Satoshi. Oh, I'm sorry, Adam Back. I'm joking, guy. Adam Back will never speak to me again. I texted Adam Back, and he immediately texted me back. And my first 10 minutes or first 15 minutes of market open, I normally don't trade market open, but for gold, it's different. That only applies to the stock market. So the first 15 minutes of market open, or even 20 minutes of market open right here, this whole run up, I wasn't even looking at gold. I was texting with God. Adam's going to kill me if I keep calling him Satoshi. I was texting with Adam Back. So by the time I got to gold, I'm like, let me not curse. I'm like, crap, which I just did. Gold was like here. It was like at 1740. And I'm like, shit, what do I do? What do you do? I missed my entry, not just but for no reason other than you're busy. So I entered anyway. So I bought my call options like here, and I ended up paying $16.50 for those call options. And then I got a text message from someone from the options class that was watching the show who said he got into the trade at $15.86. So instantly, they're way ahead because he's already up like 5%. And I was barely broke even the rest of the day. So because gold just consolidated the rest of the day. But hey, this morning I'm up like 5%. So it's great. And the person that got in before me, he's up like 10% on the trade, which is highly leveraged with options. But if you know what you're doing, it's very, very safe. And that's the power of options. So I could have spent, well, let's assume I got in properly, like one of my friends did that actually paid attention to what I was saying. Not that any of this is trading advice. So I could have spent $160 and at the moment be profitable by 1.42%. So I could have spent 160 grand and at the moment be up $245 in my position, assuming we open right here. Or if you got in with the options trade based on rules that I taught people in the options class, you are up at least 7.5% minimum, at least 7.5% on 1585. So let's do quick math. You 1585 is $15,850. If you bought just 10 options, and that person bought way more. I don't want to dox anyone. So let's say you just bought 10 options. And that's how much you spent, $15,850. And you multiply that by at least 7% of 1.075. Oh, but I got to do minus that. So that's how much you made. And you subtract. So that's how much you made. And then you subtract 1580. 15,850. Boom. All of a sudden, you've made, instead of making $245 on tying up $163,000 of capital, you only tied up less than $16,000 of capital, and you made $1,200. That's the power of options if you use them properly. Because if you don't use them properly, you blow up the entire financial system like long-term capital management almost did in 1998. So there you go. So it depends on how you trade. Will I be exiting my gold trade today? That's the big question. Will I be exiting this gold trade today? And the answer, as always, it depends. I just saw it jump like that. So hell no. I'm not exiting this trade today. I have no reason to exit it today, unless I'm up a lot of money. So if gold, that was a beautiful trade, beautiful breakout. I didn't even wait for a green 2 above a green 1. The chart pattern got me in. The break of the prior swing high got me in. Would I exit here? It depends. If gold is up, if we break 1765 at some point today, I'm going to take some profit going into the weekend. But I'm bullish gold here. I'm bullish gold. That was a great trade. Beautiful trade right here. The power of options, guys. The power of options. But if you think futures are a leverage instrument, wait till you learn options. Which I'm not sure I even recommend. It's just so dangerous. Silver is doing even better. Look at silver. Look at silver go. Damn. Should have bought silver options instead. That one broke the 9. That happened. Yeah, silver was even better. Silver was even better. Last time I did silver, this time I did gold. Wow, look at that. By percentage, it did way better. Off the green line, same green line, same principle, same color. Look at that. Look at that. 5.28%. Silver did way better. Way better. Wow, it crushed it. Yeah, silver options would have been the better choice. Crushed it. Silver is still a shit coin to gold. Oil is up. I was leaning bullish here on oil the other day. S&P is holding in there. I'm a little biased on the S&P. I wanted to still rise because I never got a chance to exit most of my trades yesterday. And I'm still leaning slightly bullish in my portfolio. All right, that's it. Other than please support, I'll take a look at your Q&A. We have 1,000 live viewers. If possible, could you please explain how the TD13s work and what are the plus signs for they seem to be related? Yes, I am happy to explain that. Do you have another 5 hours? Because if you have 5 hours to listen, there is an on-demand workshop specific to the TD Sequential. You can also purchase my version, which is called the TI indicator, that also comes with a bunch of videos I need to restructure this stuff a little bit. I'll probably be doing the indicator without any of the educational videos, and you'd have to purchase the educational video separately if you want it. Also, if you go to Tone Vays Education Learn Trading, if you want to know what those plus signs mean, please go to section 6 and click on all of these links. These are the links that explain it. It's like asking, Tone, can you explain how the RSI works? It would be unfortunate for those that have been watching me for the last 5 years to explain things they already know. So please go to tonevays.com, education, learn trading. My favorite resource here is this Bloomberg Market Essentials. It explains it very well. If that's not enough, you can download the book, the entire book on TD Sequential. It's all right there and available for you to learn. All right. And please support with the affiliate page if you are going to be trading or US compliant, non-US compliant, if you're not in the US or Canada, TradingView, Embly Card, you guys know the deal. Okay. I got 5 more minutes. Someone says, Tone is bullish gold. Thought I would never see the day. I'm bullish gold because the TA on gold is bullish. I'm not bullish gold fundamentally. I'm bullish gold due to TA. Good question. Why was the consolidation of gold at the top not considered a descending triangle? Good question. It could have been. It could have been. I think my only reasonable explanation, it could have been. I would just say that it needed more candles. I mean, sure, I can put this triangle on, say, a 1-hour chart, and it would look like it has a lot of candles. On the 1-hour chart, it has a lot of candles, but the daily chart is king. And I guess my best explanation as to why I never noticed the triangle is because it was happening too quickly. The up and down swings didn't take too many candles to achieve. That is my only reasoning for never mentioning a descending triangle on gold. That's a very good question. I didn't even notice it until you just mentioned it. And I am very fond of ascending and descending triangles. Also, there is another reason. The other reason is that this head and shoulders is just too perfect. This inverse head and shoulders is just absolutely like too perfect. And because this head and shoulders is too perfect, that never even came close to reaching its ultimate target, overrules the fact that there is potentially a descending triangle barely above this head and shoulders. That's my other potential explanation. That's the best I got for you. How did the TI sequential perform while you were in the bunker? Oh boy, talk about putting Tone on the spot. I didn't use it that much. I used the TI sequential while in the bunker the last few months. That's the code. I used it when many assets were showing you a 9 at the bottom. I wasn't using it on individual assets. Like here is a stock I was looking at yesterday for a potential trade, but I did not take the trade, so ignore it. Let's look at a random asset. Let's look at, oh boy. Wow, it's hard to come up with a random. Also a Starbucks. No reason at all, just random asset. Sorry, there was a pigeon trying to get into the apartment. Random asset, Starbucks. Okay, so there was a 9 here, but so the entire market was bottoming. But I was trying to get out of South Africa, so it was hard for me to trade this area. The market at the moment is being driven by greater factors than the individual momentum of a single stock. When it's that kind of an environment, you don't want to go against the grain. So if, say, Starbucks was hitting a 9 buy right here, or sorry, a 9 sell, I probably wouldn't take the trade because of the 9 sell only in Starbucks. During an environment where markets are more orderly with low volatility, I would trust the 9 on an individual asset that is completely uncorrelated to anything else. But in the current market environment, I'm only using the TD sequential when it's correlated. So I was happy to take the rig trade. So for example, here's rig. And I took the rig trade off a 9. There it is. Okay. So rig looked good because oil was also bottoming and starting to rise. So I am using fundamentals more so right now. I'm just not with it. What's another example? I haven't used it recently. I can take a look at, you know what? Let me take a look at the notification service. We do have a free notification service, guys. Check the video description. It's the alerts. The notification service will eventually be for profit, but right now it's perfectly free. So I'm just going to scroll down to what we got in the free notification service. We have the GDP versus US dollar rate on a 9 buy. Let's see what it looks like. Whoa, what the hell? What happened there? Let's try this again. Why am I not able to drag an image? I don't know. This used to work. I don't know what's going on. Let's try this one more time. There we go. So, oh, that's a 13. So beautiful 9 right here at the bottom. Why are we notifying this? Oh, this isn't GDP. This is CAC. Hold on. Oh, because we're notifying the 13s as well. You get a lot of notifications there. Here it is. Would I buy this 9? And the answer is not really. It's happening almost in consolidation. This 9 was more interesting. Markets were reversing. Everything was crashing. This 9, not that interesting. Anyway, this is a long conversation. I don't really want to get into it. I want to take a look at the mempool. Guys, your transactions are going to be very expensive right now. Like to the point of unreasonably expensive. I'm about to have a chat with my web developer. I got to make sure that the tone Vays services raise the fee a little bit and make sure they stay in my nodes mempool for like a month. Transactions are expensive right now. Start looking into Lightning. I'm going to start looking into Lightning. For the last year, I've been saying I haven't been using Lightning because transactions have been fast and cheap. That's no longer the case. Transactions are not cheap and transactions are not fast right now. So you need to start learning Lightning. I will do my best to help you, but transactions are not cheap right now. All right, guys, I gotta go. Markets are 3 minutes away from opening, and I do have positions on still, so I can't stay with you. Now people are helping me with Q&A, but unfortunately, it's a little too late. I need to look at those questions next time. Come on back in about 5 hours, and I will do the big stream about the Satoshi unmasking videos from Barely Sociable. Jimmy Song and I will cover it. Here's the cover for that, by the way. It's the last thing I will leave you with. The cover for that video. Bam, I'm going to tweet this out in a minute. Oh, God, come on. You're not working again. Boom. Right there. Check out this bet. Forget it. Forget it. Doesn't work anymore. All right, never mind. Look at Twitter. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please support with the affiliate page, and I will see you all on the next one.